This is the Bosch GST 160 jigsaw, which is available in two variations. The BCE has the top bow grip or D handle and is available in 240 and 110 volt options, whilst the CE model has the body grip, which is often favoured by professional users as the lower centre of gravity allows better control, particularly for one-handed inverted cuts, as for instance when cutting a worktop. This version is only available in 240 volt. The unique feature of both models is the optimised blade guide system that ensures superbly accurate cutting even at full depth. This increased accuracy is the result of several significant upgrades. For a start, the improved double roller blade guide system reduces blade deflection and wander by continually self-adjusting to the blade position. The motor is now rated at 800 watts and delivers more than enough power for cuts up to a massive 160mm in timber. Constant electronics, including overload protection, ensures the speed and power remains the same even under heavy load. Another source of improved accuracy is the SDS base plate bevel function, and this allows toolless adjustment for angled cuts, but ensures a quick and precise return to the 90-degree position. The enlarged footprint of the base plate, with less gaps, also gives more stability when making cuts near the edges or corners of a workpiece. The variable speed control allows the stroke rate to be varied to suit the material being cut. The range is 800 to 3000 strokes per minute, so it can be slowed down for cuts in plastic or metal, or increased for work in timber and panels. The stroke length is 26mm. The easy-to-use trigger on the BCE acts as an accelerator, allowing you to control the speed up to the maximum you set on the variable speed control. This function is perfect when you need a slow and precise start to help eliminate miscutting or damaging the work at the start of the cut. The trigger lock is very handy for fatigue-free working on long cuts, and both the trigger and the lock are equally accessible if you're left-handed. On the CE version, you still have the same variable speed dial on the rear, allowing you to set a maximum speed, but the accelerator trigger has been replaced by a sliding on-off switch. An excellent safety feature is the restart protection on both models, so if the power fails during a cut, the saw will not restart when it's restored, even if the trigger is still in the locked-on position. Both models feature the one-handed SDS blade system. You just slide in the blade and the job's done. You don't have to hold any levers open, no tools are required. Then use this lever to eject it. You don't have to touch it, which is useful if the blade is still hot, so you can keep working without having to wait for it to cool down. A 4-stage pendulum controls the speed of the cut by introducing progressive amounts of orbit. Increase the orbit amount for faster cutting, or reduce the orbit to minimise chipping or tearing on the top surface. This orbital action also allows the blade to move away from the cut on the non-cutting return stroke, so it produces less heat and therefore prolongs the cutting life of the blade. The orbital action also makes a dramatic difference to the cutting speed, particularly in thick timber. These are particularly compact professional jigsaws, so the 160 BCE is just 231mm long, whilst the CE version is a fraction longer at 251mm. The rubber grip handles, smooth running motor and the counterbalance mechanism ensure extremely low vibration levels. Weighing just 2.3 and 2.2 kilograms, these are very light for pro jigsaws, making them more comfortable to handle. The barrel grip on the CE version is just 206mm in diameter, making it the smallest in the market. All these features combine to produce superior ergonomics that make the GST 160s a pleasure to use, even in prolonged cutting situations. And the open design of the front gives you a clear line of sight during the cut. Both also feature the fully insulated wraparound front to conform to the latest regulations. The magnesium die-cast base is very strong, and we've already seen how the extended surface area adds to the overall stability of the jigsaw. The special plastic overlay prevents the base marking the work. it will tilt up to 45 degrees, but it's spring-loaded to reset at 0 and 45 degrees, and again no tools are required to make the adjustment. The conical shape of the housing in the base, along with the additional stabilising pin, lock the base plate firmly into position at 90 degrees every time. An anti-splinter shoe is supplied to minimise the risk of chipping on the top surface of veneered surfaces. The cable enters the tool via a ball joint, making it much easier to orientate it out of the way. As you would expect with a Bosch tool, dust extraction is well catered for, with a slip-in extraction tube that locates right at the cutting point. The extraction is improved even further by fitting the clear plastic front. If you're not using the nozzle or the extraction, you can use the blower to keep the cutting line clear, but switch it off if you do use the extraction. For cuts in dark or enclosed areas, the GST-160 features an LED lighting system that produces more than enough light for comfortable working. Both saws are supplied in an L box, which has plenty of room for the 4-metre cable and the various accessories. And these L boxes can be combined into a fully transportable storage system. The GST-160 is capable of cutting dead straight in a variety of materials, but it's equally at ease with curved and circular cuts, internal cutouts and plunge cuts. With the correct blade from the huge range produced by Bosch, the GST-160 can be used on soft and hardwoods, construction timber, board materials, even when they're veneered, sandwich materials, ferrous and non-ferrous pipes, sheet metal, tiles, plastics and fiberglass. They're proudly made in Switzerland to the legendary Bosch standard, so the GST-160 sets the highest standard for precision and control. Register the tool online within 4 weeks of purchase to increase the warranty to 3 years. And while you're at it, why not join the Bosch online Bob community to get help and feedback from other professional users. The GST-160 Jigsaw.